know everybody got problems. Yeah, but waiting no more way to solve them. I really came up from the bottom. Struggling my mama on the last dollar. Hustling, man, I've been putting in these hours. The government been trying to take away with hours. Really all about the...
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Lions.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
And it's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even teams will say, well, I'll worry about running it because we throw it all the time.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Robert Ayers in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Play action. Stafford. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Robert Ayers in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Sam Martin now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here's Austin. Nice move at the 40. And now a hit and a loose football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jordan Reed, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Fitzpatrick on first down. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in,
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Now Prater to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him at the 21-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be marked down deep in Detroit territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 61 yards. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Grover Quinn. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
2nd down now after the pass completion. And the D looking like they may blitz. On 2nd down, Johnson. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And his throw is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They run with Abdullah, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Under. 3.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. 3rd and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down again. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Doug Martin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit. And it's 17-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. 2nd down, Fitzpatrick. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And the back goes into motion. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. Green with a catch left side. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And he's got room. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top, as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down, looking to throw, Fitzpatrick. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Throwing Fitzpatrick. It's caught. Humphreys. And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard near the 48-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Being chased out left. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Back to the ground, Martin. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long, he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Chris Baker busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back at the 46. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Stafford. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Prater on to add the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So out come the Bucs now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is knocked down from the side. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they're hoping the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Hey, go here!
They go to Johnson again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. They get 8 yards back there, and they could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now Austin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. First down, Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Stafford. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Gerald McCoy able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
That one goes for 24 yards. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Haloti Ngata in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said,
David Johnson on his way. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Detroit. David Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't...
And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Fitzpatrick now on second down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him, and then...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Desperation time. Fitzpatrick on fourth down. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. The busy night continues for Johnson. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback. Throwing on first down. Fitzpatrick. Catch here, left side, Thomas. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 44 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Shift together here from the D-line. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. Johnson running left. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit near the 25. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. This will be fielded at the 17. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion there. Made it very difficult.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now Fitzpatrick. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a